Hello and welcome to the fun-filled nonsense retrospective. I'm your host as always, Rick, and joining me equally as always is Devon.
Hello.
Yeah, today we're going to be doing a little bit more of Dragon Age Origins. We're going to be talking about the Brecilian Forest and things that happen in the Nature of the Beast questline. But before we get too far into that, let's go with the good old time-honored tradition of the nonsense asinine hypotheticals. What have you got for me today?
You have been wronged by a group of people and must curse them with a curse of lycanthropy, but not a cool version of lycanthropy. The animal wolf version hybrid thing they are has to be lame. What do you pick?
Ooh, so it's got to be a wolf, has it?
No, has to be an animal that is lame.
Okay, a lame animal. Sloths.
Okay. But the caveat here is they become giant sloths.
Yeah, actually, I don't know how giant sloths behaved.
They were fucking brutal.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, sloths. Hummingbirds. Hummingbirds would be horrific because they'd have to devour so much and probably would die of overuse of their metabolisms.
I do apologise for not being clear, but a thrope usually has to be a mammal.
Yeah.
So otherwise it's just cool, earwig, because no one wants to be an earwig.
This is the thing. I think I might just stick with a sloth. Yeah, they were they might end up being big, but it's under the assumption that they are behaving like common current day sloths, which don't get to move very quickly.
Well, the thing is, sloths can move quickly. They choose not to.
Sure.
It's really dumb. Sloths are up there with pandas and their uselessness scale. The silver lining being that because they move so slowly, they create a microbiome for algae, which is why so many sloths are green, by the way.
Yeah.
And also, actually, that's about it, because they taste so terrible, things don't want to eat them, which is why they exist.
Yeah, and sometimes they're so stupid that they fall from trees because they think their own arm is a tree.
Well, that's just they forget to cling on to things.
Yeah, yep. And their claws are so good that they can keep on clinging on without actually putting any effort into it. It's great.
So those giant, when I say giant sloths, I'm talking about the fucking, basically amongst the first mammals when everything was megafauna and massive. There's theories that certain caves began life as giant sloth burrows.
Yeah. Do you have a thought that's better than my weresloth?
Giraffe.
That would be very... it would be very inconvenient to be a were giraffe. Oh boy.
It would be miserable.
Yeah, it would. And, it would be so weird as well. Giraffes are one of the weirdest creatures, on the planet. I think I've said it multiple times, but, if you described a giraffe and a unicorn, which do you think people would believe if they'd never seen either?
I mean, I guess, but, at the same time, Romans used to describe giraffes, and it would literally just translate to, leopard horses.
Sure.
It's one of those where when it's hard to describe things, but leopard horse is a pretty good way of describing giraffe.
Yeah, I guess so.
The only thing that makes a giraffe inherently weird is the long neck. If you take that away, it is just an horse.
yeah, without the neck. It's basically it's a horse, and it has those two little weird horns that they have.
Yeah, which have you ever seen giraffes fight?
No, don't they just hit each other with their necks?
No, they don't hit each other with their necks. They try to hit each other with those horns. So it's one of those where it might look like they're whacking each other with their necks, but they're doing that because they're trying to hit the other one with their horns. They whip their necks. It's so fucking silly looking.
Yeah.
Yes, do you have a question?
But yes, my one for you is you are a Dragon Age Origins origin. Which do you think is the least shitty one to be?
Dwarven noble.
Really?
Well, assuming that you are the dwarven noble and not just yourself, then yes. If you get the powers of a Dragon Age protagonist.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, Rick, if it was just me or you put in any of the Dragon Age Origins scenarios, we are dead, so they all suck.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we all sucked, but yeah.
The Dwarven Noble one's pretty decent because, hey, you get a threesome with some desperate chicks, and then, in theory, you escape the deep road. You spend minimal effort in the deep roads, which you spent time in anyway during it's not your proving, it's like your ascension campaign bullshit. So, you have the skills to live long enough to make it to Duncan. And then, out of all of them, it's either Dwarf Noble or Human Noble, right? Because they both get happy endings. The Human Noble, obviously you don't have this option in game, but realistically you can leave the order as soon as the fucking thing is completed. Not in an official capacity, but be like, yep, I'm fucking off for a bit now, I'm going to chill with my family. And even if you don't do that, your brother is alive and takes over the Kuslan bullshit. Whereas if you're the Dwarven Nobles are pricks. If you wanted to, you can literally just be like, right, I'm putting Haramont on the throne during the Orzammar section, and you make it very clear to Haramont, hey, you're here for about 3 months, and then I'm coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the reason that I wouldn't pick the Dwarf Noble is that your entire family dies, apart from Balin.
Okay, guess what? They're all dicks.
Yeah, your dad wasn't.
Okay, but he was on his deathbed anyway.
True.
Well, actually, it might have been hastened a little bit, but like he was old and, he had 3 sons that were ready to inherit. That's how old he was.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, Trian doesn't seem like that much of an arsehole, but...
But that's only because Balin exists.
Yeah.
Like, again, Dwarf Nobles are inherently bastards. None of them are good people. And weirdly enough, Balin is actually the best person for the common man.
Yeah. As an outsider looking in, it's very unpalatable to pick Balin. However, it's morally the correct choice in the long run.
And also, if you return any origin that is not a Dwarven Noble, when you return to Orzammar, and we're going to have this conversation again when we do fucking Orzammar, by the way, any other origin, when you talk to Haramont, the first thing Haramont says is, I need to become king. The first thing Balin says is, oh shit, Grey Wardens, we will absolutely help you. Unfortunately, I need the power to do so first. Yes, he's politicking, but the first thing he says is, yes, I will absolutely honour those contracts if you help me. Get into a position to honour those contracts.
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
Like,
so he's if you don't know about who he is, he's a very good he makes a good first impression here.
It's also implied that his rule doesn't last very long because he pisses off a few too many nobles.
Yeah. So yeah, you're going to be the Dwarf Noble.
Again, assuming you have Dragon Age protagonist powers, yes.
Yeah. So you get the powers of being a warrior or being a rogue.
Which are you might as well be a fucking all-powerful wizard in that universe. Also, if you're a dwarf, you don't have to deal with Fade bollocks.
Yeah, true. Except you do still have to do the actual Fade section.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to deal with it every night.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, go on. What's your answer?
I'm going to be a human mage.
I knew you were going to say mage.
Yeah. It's the one that has the least disastrous start of all of the origins. Everything else has like basically your entire family die.
Elf doesn't. Neither elf. Neither. Well, you've got that one. You've got the girls that get killed, but they're not related to you. Your dad still lives and your sister still lives. So, and the Dalish elf, the only person who dies is the guy who goes with you, and he's not related to you. He's just your childhood friend.
Okay.
Trying to think about this. Not Dalish, Dwarven commoner also doesn't lose your entire family. Your mother dies, but she's a cunt. Your sister gets to marry Balin, so if you decide to rejoin Dwarf Society, you become a noble just by that. You do have to murder your best friend later on in the game.
Ooh, what a shitty one.
Yeah, but also he turned on you first. Fuck him. The only one in which your entire family dies are the 2 noble paths, and yeah, it kind of sucks for the Kuslan because they're actually a good family, but the Dwarven noble one is like they were trying to kill you anyway.
Yeah. I guess it's obvious that those are the only 2 that I've played other than Mage, then, isn't it? I played literally half of the origins. The Mage, yes, you got to deal with the Fate stuff, but by the other half of it, you get the benefit of being able to heal yourself and shoot lightning.
Yeah, but if we're doing Dragon Age Origins logic, like everyone can heal themselves because potions are 2 a penny.
Yeah, but your healer can do it free.
Well, no, they have to chug lyrium.
True, or go to bed. But yeah, in reality, it's just using more lyrium and over time, which is a lot more expensive than healing potions.
Yeah.
But yes, We are starting with the Brecilian Forest.
The Brecilian Forest, eh?
The Brecilian Forest. This is, when I first played this game, I came here straight away because this is where you get the Arcane Warrior.
Oh, so you looked up a guide before you started playing?
Yep, and then I got Arcane Warrior and I left and did other things.
I don't like the way you play video games, Rick.
Yeah, but by the same token, you need to be level 7 before you get a specialization, so I basically got this, and then by the time I hit level 7, I had the thing ready to pick, and so when I was doing Fade bullshit, it was with a cooler version of myself.
I mean, that still doesn't change my thought process of, like, that this is not how video games are meant to be played, especially not narrative ones.
Yeah, true. Maybe so. The big conflict here is that Master Zathrian, the head of the local Dalish clan, really didn't like a bunch of humans back in the day.
They raped and murdered his family.
Yeah, just slightly. So he cursed them forever.
And the thing that's most fucked up is we're going to be jumping all over the place in today's episode because of the way the structure of the narrative for this section is very, here's what Zathrian says. I keep wanting to call him Zevlor. This is what Zathrian says. This is what this person says. This is what this person says. Zathrian doubles down on his bullshit. This is what this person... Yeah. So the truth of the situation becomes a bit murky. But like it's revealed about halfway through the plot points that, by the way, almost all of the werewolves that currently exist are not related to that original crime.
Yeah, so Zathrian, as part of the deal that he made, has had his life extended far beyond what his life should be, and is, like, way older, and yes, these werewolves are descendants and infected of the ones that started, that were the original problem.
I don't even think they're descendants, I think they're entirely, new people who've been infected.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it gets a bit even murkier, and they never outright say that they're descendants. It's always just like, look, none of us were involved in that shit.
Yeah. So you've now got essentially the factions of the Dalish themselves, who are supporting Zathrian because why wouldn't they? They don't know how much of a cock he is.
Because Zathrian is lying to them.
Yeah, they don't know that he is what he is. You have the werewolves, who, as you say, almost none of them have actually done anything wrong, other than the fact that they got attacked by a werewolf at some point. Yeah, they're in a fight with the Dalish that they have no choice other than to be in or die. There is the Dryad lady, who is basically maintaining the curse.
It's with a fang.
And doesn't want to.
With a fang.
With a fang, okay.
With a fang when she's a wolf, Lady of the Forest when she's not.
Sure.
They are one in the same. Yeah, and she's the one who actually reveals that, hey, by the way, when I go away...
Yeah, and what else is there in the forest? Right,
so the attacks. You don't need to do a brief over. We're meant to be going through it, so we don't need to give a massive, great big this. It's fine. So the conflict started effectively, and Swiftwater tells you this. The only reason they're attacking the elves is they have tried to talk to Zathrian, and to be fair, I don't blame Zathrian for not wanting to talk because it seems sketch as fuck. It feels like if he walks into this literal den of wolves, he will probably be attacked on sight. But they do actually just want to talk and say, hey, can we negotiate something, a solution here? Zathrian doesn't want to talk, so that's what leads to the werewolf attacks in the first place. The werewolves, Swiftwater will straight up tell you, we attack and purposefully infect. They don't just attack, they infect the Dalish because now it's Zathrian's problem and he needs to fix it.
Yeah, and once he does, it fixes it for all of them as far as they're concerned, because he's the reason that it's still going on.
Oh, 100%. 100%. There are a few side quests you can do in the camp that you first enter. I can't remember half of them. The one I do remember is there's an injured Huller, or rather there's a Huller that is acting incredibly weird, and the herd tender is just like, this Huller's acting weird and I don't know why. And if you do an animal check, I forget what the name of the skill is in Dragon Age, but that's basically what it is. It's basically animal handling. You could do it and you'll find out that there's nothing wrong with that Haller, but that Haller's freaking out because another Haller, its mate, got bit, which is really cool. It's a real life detail that animals are really, really good at hiding when something's wrong. Anyone who's ever had a pet can tell you this.
Yeah, a lot of animals that essentially are prey animals, even if they are predators. Their number one survival thing is to hide that they are in any way not perfect.
Because
you get this with cats a lot.
Because you become an easy target. It's as simple as that. So yeah, the one Hala's freaking out because its mate got bit and it's hurt. And then, funny enough, the fucking Hala herder can just go straight away, oh, cool, I know how to fix this, and fixes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are a few, like I said, there are a few quests. Almost all of them are side quests that don't really get you much, like a little bit of gold, nothing special item-wise, I don't remember. Actually, there is one quest. You can talk to the Hala quartermaster, and this is the first time we get mention of ironwood.
Ah, yes. Ironwood being it's one of the materials that you can have things made of.
Yeah, it's a very rare material, although you find it in every single game because we are the specialist of boys. And he straight up tells you, hey, if you get some ironwood, I can make you something cool.
Yeah, so one of your custom ultimate weapons or ultimate armors or whatever is going to be the ironwood one.
It's not armor. It's literally either a staff or a shield, I believe.
Okay.
There's not much picking. So yeah, I remember that being a thing. When you go into the forest proper, that's when you get your first confrontation with Witherfang and not Witherfang, sorry, Swiftwind. Swiftwind, I've forgotten his fucking name. Swift something.
Yeah, Swiftclaw sounds about right. Swiftwind is the horse from Sri-Ra. Did somebody say Swiftwind?
Swift Runner.
Swift Runner.
Swift Runner. You get into a little bit of a fight and they run away because you just say, hey, I'm here to talk to hunt Witherfang, and he's like, fuck you. There's a few things in the forest itself, a few little oddities. There's an ancient barrier that you need to get through to actually access the ruins that the werewolves are holed up in. There's two ways you can get into this. There's a crazy fucking hermit and there's an ancient fucking I don't know if dryad is the right term. It's a giant tree that lives. It's very old. He's lost his acorn. The hermit stole it. You can take the acorn away from the hermit and have to fight the hermit, who is an incredibly powerful mage and very annoying. Or you can chop down the tree and then whatever thing you choose will break the barrier down. However, it feels incredibly evil to side with the hermit.
Yeah, it does. It feels like siding with the thing that has been wronged is it takes nothing for you to do this, because you're going to have to do a fight either way.
Well, the thing is you can actually avoid a fight by siding with the tree, because I believe you can trade for the acorn. From the hermit, but it does just you do know the problem's just going to happen again.
Yeah.
There is also a little spot in the map where I do remember this, because every time I've done, I did it once and then I went, I'm never doing that again. That's bullshit. Where there's a camp set up, a few sleeping bags, and it's like, you feel very tired, you should sleep. And if you fail a check, which you almost certainly will, you go, yeah, let's have a sleep, and you sleep, and then everybody is knocked out except for one character, usually your mage, and you have to fight a fucking rage demon one-on-one, and it sucks.
Ooh, yeah.
And I don't even remember you getting anything good from that encounter.
No,
apart
from,
think so. Hey, maybe if you're magically induced into going to sleep, maybe don't do it.
The Ironbark is it's not the best thing in the game. It's tier 5, is it?
Oh, it's not the best thing by any means. However, it's probably your first real shot at getting a decent staff.
Sure, okay.
In my opinion. But it's been a while since I played this, and obviously if you're going your route and having all your mages be fucking ancient knights, then you're not gonna use a staff anyway.
Yeah, one of your mages might use a staff and the other ones are gonna be sword users.
Well, this is just what Rick does, because Rick's uninventive.
Oh yes, I'm a rapper. I'm like that one thing of, once you find out about War Cleric in Fire Emblem, everyone gets reclassed into a War Cleric.
Yeah, but that's boring.
Yeah.
Although that being said, we do have that new class in Rogue Trader, and it's like, cool, half of my party are that class because they get pets.
Yeah, it's cute.
Well, also, it straight up fucking gives you so much dominion over the battlefield, because the pets move on the same turn as the person controlling them, and they move so fast.
Yeah, why wouldn't you have this thing? The only reason not to do it is to have something bullshit from the Assassin's class, pretty much.
Well, the reason not to do it is that you have to have been a certain base base class to access it. So
Sure.
But that being said, the majority of your party is a base class that can access that. So
Yeah, it's I think did you say it's the only one that's there's an advanced class rather than base? Because the assassin you can start as base.
Yeah, assassin is a base class, and then you've got the executioner on the second rung. Whereas this new class is just on the second run. You have to to it.
Sure, and I'm assuming you can't promote from assassin.
Well, no. Also, you wouldn't want to. Executioner is just assassin, but better.
Yeah, true.
Like, if you're speccing into melee, why would you also want a pet? You don't need both. That's stupid.
Sure.
This is your fucking love of magical weapon bullshit showing again, Rick. I'm going to play Dark Souls and have access to all the magic sword weapon skills, and it's like, cool, your build's going to suck.
But yeah, I think there's also there's a shriek as well, isn't there?
I don't remember there being a shriek.
Yeah, it's a shriek being the
really shit darkspawn.
Yeah, darkspawns that get made from elves in the old lore, and we don't know in the new lore.
They don't exist after Dragon Age 1.
Yeah, they're crap. And I think you actually get to meet some people who used to be related to this shriek before it got turned.
Well, can you expand, Rick? Because I don't know what you're talking about, so you're gonna have to say more than you're saying.
Nah, it's this is all from memory rather than looking things up. So.
I don't. You need to do research before these episodes, my dude. The only shriek encounter I remember in the game is there's one ambush that happens regardless, and if you happen to have the Dalish Elf origin, one of the shrieks that attacked you was the guy that found the Alluvian with you all the way back in the beginning of the game, and he's like, "Please kill me," and you're a scumbag if you don't.
Yeah, okay, that's probably the encounter that I'm thinking of. That it like you say, it adds to your the origin character to it.
But I don't know. But I don't know how you would remember that encounter, because you yourself said you only done 3 of the origins, and Dalish weren't it.
Yeah, I think they you have that encounter anyway. It's just less impactful if you weren't Dalish.
Yeah, I know. You do have that encounter regardless, and this is what I said. You have the encounter. If you're a Dalish Elf, you get that NPC added, you have the conversation. I just don't know why you would know that there was any relation to an NPC with that encounter if you didn't play it.
Sure, fair enough. Yeah.
I'm actually just remembering the way you can trade for the Acon is it's a big old long lengthy series of trades.
Oh yeah, it's like the paperclip trade, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so fucking annoying.
Yeah. So kill the guy.
I believe there is a Revenant fight in the forest as well. There's Revenants scattered throughout the game, and if you beat them all, you get an armor set, which isn't even that good. It looks cool though.
True, both of these are correct. Revenants suck, but they're also kind of it's morally good to get rid of them all. So if you're kind of like a role playing as a completionist, then do all the Revenant.
Oh, no, even though my characters are all good guys, because I don't have the heart to be a bad guy, especially not in Dragon Age Origins, where you can be a real dick. I sometimes just go, I'm not fighting this Revenant, not because I'm evil, but because it will kick my shit in.
Yeah. While it is morally good to destroy them, they are also incredibly tough a lot of the time.
I mean, all of them are a high enough level that chances are, if you actually want to beat them, you're gonna have to come back.
Yes. That's the way to deal with a lot of them is remember it and come back when you got some levels.
I think we should move on to the ruins then. You get 2 conversations with Swiftwater, I believe, and like I said, one of them has a fight and they run away after a certain bit, and then the other one is just them going, go away, stay away from the summoner. But they fuck off.
Yeah, fair enough.
And they run to the ruins, which, as I mentioned, was blocked off by this sort of arcane shield. You either help the treeman or you help the hermit, and it breaks the wall down. And then you enter these ancient elven ruins, don't you, Rick?
Yeah, 2 floors even.
Yeah, now this is the actual part of the area where you get the arcane warrior. Doesn't it involve helping some ancient spirit with a phylactery, or am I making that up?
Yeah, it's a spirit with a phylactery. You can either I think it wants you to destroy its phylactery so it can move on. So if you agree, then it just gives you it, or you can take the information and leave it in torment. Which, why would you?
Because you're a piece of shit. You might, if you're role playing a human noble, you probably don't like elves.
Yeah.
Although you still have to be a scumbag. Like there's no reason to. Like I said, Dragon Age Origins is one of the fun things about Dragon Age Origins is you can be a proper scummy scumbag, because when there's a world-ending threat, you can have the excuse of, hey, how come you're saving the world when you're such a piece of shit? And it's like, because I live in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, awful person who doesn't care about anyone, but if the world dies, so do I, so I guess I have to save it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they let you... Oh, God, it angers me how poorly it goes, because Dragon Age 2 is instantly a bit of a dip. Like, Hawk can be an aggressive arsehole, but he's not a villain. But then you get to Inquisition, and there's just no chance to do evil things. And don't even get me starting on the latest game, which name escapes me because it's not worth remembering.
Oh, Veilguard, yeah.
Yeah, I keep wanting to call it Dreadwolf because that's the name we thought it was going to be called.
Yeah, that's what it was going to be called. And then they were like, oh, we're pivoting away from soulless mattering. Oh man, and like your choice is you can't even be mean in a lot of these things in Veilguard. Like the closest thing you can get is to approve less enthusiastically of everything that just happens to you.
It's not... Even when you antagonize Solus in that game, you're not really being that dickish.
It's like a tee-hee slap rather than fuck you and I'm actually going to kill you. I'm going to separate that smug neck from that smug head.
One of the things I hate most about that game, and I think everyone has said this by now, is the abundance of therapy speak.
Yeah.
Everything is treated as if you're in the middle of a conversation with your therapist, and it's like, people don't fucking talk like this, and it's one of the many problems with the dialogue.
And, like, you'd think they'd come up with a better, like, statement than saying Elganon and Gillenane in full every time.
Hey, this is why we need Sarah, because she just called them gobshites.
Yeah. Good old Y'shtola.
It's one of those. It's one of those. Like, I don't know if we're ever going to talk about Veilguard in depth. Like, I fully intend for us to do Dragon Age 2 and probably Inquisition as well on the podcast in a thorough deep dive as we're doing Origins. But we might have to do just one episode on Veilguard and talk about why the fuck we hate it.
I don't hate it.
I do.
I just don't love it.
Have you seen that cutscene yet? The super secret endgame cutscene that happens after the credits?
Not that one.
Yeah, cool. It ruins everything. It retroactively makes the first 3 games worse.
Yeah, shit.
Now, here's the thing is, I can shit on Veilguard all I want. I platinumed the game, I did everything. I was halfway through a second playthrough before going, I fucking hate this, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Anyway, the ruins. There's a dragon in here, Rick.
Yeah, there is.
It's not a big fuck-off mature dragon like outside the Urn of Sacred Ashes place, but it is a proper adult dragon. It's got wings and everything, and if you come in here unprepared, it will kick your shit in.
Yeah. And you also get the Juggernaut armor here as well, don't you?
It's the Juggernaut is something that drops in pieces from the Revenants in the zone.
Right, okay.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying if you want the Juggernaut armor, you've got to kill all the Revenants.
Sure.
And I don't think it's that good. It's even less good if you pre-ordered the game and got the Blood Dragon armor because you've already got heavy sets.
Yeah, you got better stuff already.
When you go to fucking Orzammar, you get the Legion of the Dead armor, which should have been locked to dwarfs only.
Oh, yeah. It looks a bit silly when anyone else wears it.
I always put it on Sten.
Yeah.
Because first of all, it is just a really good heavy armor set anyway. But second, it looks dumb on Sten. And Sten doesn't care. Like, Sten is just like, it is Brackle.
It's cute.
No one will know how many cookies I have.
Yes, there was a child. He was fat. He did not need them.
I do fucking love the comic of the Punchline is Machismo, where everyone's talking about Cookie Clicker and taking the piss out of Sten, like, oh, don't do the thing, Sten, don't do the, you like cookies, and then the fucking boss just comes in and goes, hey, that nice girl who hangs outside the office just gave us some cookies, do you want some? And then it just cuts to Sten trying to beat the shit out of him, and the boss is just like, dude, is this how Kunari say thank you? Fuck you!
Yeah.
Oh god, Sten's great. It's a shame that character never got fucking revisited.
Yeah, like, he was meant to be the new Arishok and everything, like, in the background, but that's just it. It's only in the background.
I don't believe
it. Read.
I don't believe...
You have to read.
It's one of those where I don't believe it's even true, because it's all just stuff like, yeah, this is happening, and it's like, is this someone's bad fan fiction? What's going on?
Yeah, like, why would Sten be the one that that rises to that position? Like, why would our Sten, who is just a rank-and-file expeditionary scout, be the one that ends up the Arashok?
Now, don't get me wrong. I could totally see a scenario in which Sten has seen that you can work outside of your assigned role after hanging out with the Warden and co. Case in point, the Warden, there's a conversation he has with the Warden at one point where the Warden goes, I'm not really a warrior, you know, and Sten just goes, I know. And it's such a simple moment, but it speaks volumes. And it's just him having that moment. You could see a scenario where Sten goes back and goes, we could probably change this a little bit. And Sten's got enough fortitude and backbone to follow through with trying to perhaps changing things on a very minute scale, and therefore climb the ranks. I can see a scenario where that happens, but it's a case of show, don't tell. You can't just tell me Sten went back and he was such a cool badass, he became a leader of a sect of the Qun. No, I don't believe you.
Yeah. I don't think Sten actually says much in many of the areas at all, really. I remember him being weirdly vocal during the Orzammar and the Deep Roads, but that just might be because that's where I had him the most.
I think that's probably the case. It was probably like, cool, Sten has had none of his dialogue flagged, so we're doing it all now.
Yeah, he's gonna poke Liliana a lot while you're down here.
Have you seen his dialogue tree with Morrigan?
I don't think so.
Cool.
Maybe not. Well, a long time ago.
Morrigan implies very heavily that she wants to fuck him, and she's just like, maybe this and maybe that, and eventually it goes to Sten being like, you are not going to stop persisting. I will procure the suitable armor. And Morrigan's like, what? It's like, if you are to be with me, it will be quite heavy and hard. You will probably need a helmet. You will go into the war.
You will need protection, and I don't just mean a rubber.
Like, for real, it's literally just like, I will fuck you so hard your body might break, so we're gonna get you special armor. And it turns Morrigan off immediately. But that being said, I also genuinely believe that Morrigan didn't really want to fuck him so much as be like, I've never had a Kunari. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
Like, and by that I mean she wanted to fuck a Kunari, she didn't want to fuck Sten. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it was. She wants the new experience, not this person.
Yeah. Because we've met Kunari after Sten with charisma. I could firmly believe that if it was Iron Bull in the party instead of Sten, that would have happened.
Oh yeah, because the Iron Bull knows how not to injure someone.
I do remember before Dragon Age Inquisition came out, the developers were like, okay, there are size differences that we have to account for. Dwarfs will not be able to romance Iron Bull, and then people bitched about it online. And they went, okay, we're just going to suspend disbelief then and not show penetration.
Yep, and one of the people on staff figured out how to make the hugs and stuff work.
Yeah, anyway, what are we talking about? We're meant to be talking about the ruins in Brecilian Forest.
Yeah, we've had West and East Brecilian Forest, we're down through those. The Revenants are in the ruins, quite a lot of them.
I mean, there was one in the forest, for sure. I believe there's two in the ruins, and then that gets you, in total, the legs, the arms, and the body for the Juggernaut armor. Was there a helmet that goes with it?
I think so.
I don't remember there being a helmet, but okay. But yeah, the dungeon itself is literally just a dungeon. There's not much plot going on here until you reach the end, because when you reach the end and actually meet the Lady of the Forest, that's when plot starts happening again. Otherwise, it feels like any old...
Yeah, it's any old corridor dungeon. I think the final thing before you actually get to the werewolf lair is an arcane horror.
An arcane horror?
Yeah.
Those don't exist
once
here.
you get into... Do they not?
I think you're thinking of a Revenant.
Okay.
Like, arcane horrors are a D&D thing, Rick.
Sure. But then you get to the werewolves.
Before that, there is a very annoying puzzle that involves a water jug.
Oh, is that frickin' like, or is it Towers of whatever? Towers of Babylon, is it? Do they call it?
No, it's not even that. It's like you got to take a water, you got to fill it with water, you got to take the water to an altar and pray, and then you got to take a sip of the water. And I can't even remember what it's for. I do know. Oh yeah, no, this is actually for the actual Juggernaut armor. I thought you had to kill a Revenant for it. So yeah, if you want the Juggernaut plate armor, you have to do this puzzle. And if you fuck it up, you get attacked by shades.
Sure.
which is such a nothing threat at this point in the game. Potentially, it depends what... You can do this game in any order you want, by the way. Everything scales.
Yes.
Apart from key enemies, like Revenants will always be, no, they're fuck off strong, be careful. But like everything else more or less scales, which is something I wish they followed through with in future games. I mean, like, I guess they kind of did with Veilguard, weirdly enough.
Yeah, in Veilguard, it's basically when you're at certain points, things will be like level 40s from now on, level 50s from now on.
Yeah, there's no point in Veilguard where you feel truly beast.
No, you're always on the treadmill. Things are always going to be stronger than you.
Until you reach max level, in which case, cool. All the shitlings are shit, the normal guys are normal, and the hard guys will kick your shit in.
Yes, the hard guys will still be fucking dragons, and they will still take fucking ages.
Hey, I've got an idea. Let's make this boss fight more exciting. How are we going to do that, game dev? We're going to give it even more HP, so you have to do the mechanic for longer. Is that more fun? Can we not like make a new phase? No.
Yeah, the new phase is all of its shields refill, and you have to do the whole thing again.
Fun. Like, I'll give Kingdom Hearts a lot of shit for being a very simple gameplay loop, but at least the fucking bosses don't take 7 hours.
Yeah, they don't fucking heal.
Alright, some of them do, but only if you fuck up.
Sure, yeah.
God damn, I still remember not Lady Maria, fucking Cleric Beast. Not Cleric Beast either. What's her fucking name? The fucking one in the chapel.
Vicar Amelia.
Yeah, I still remember Vicar Amelia healing, and it's like, how do you
stagger? You can't
do that. But she heals so much, and you can't stagger her out of it unless you know she's doing it before she does it, and you have a heavy weapon.
Yeah. If you're if you're Whip Cane, get shit on.
I mean, pretty much. It was such a bullshit. Oh, I fucking hate Bloodborne. Anyway, you were going to say something before I cut you off with the Vicar Amelia bitching.
No. We were about to hit the lair of the werewolves.
Okay, so lair of the werewolves. You get here. Swift Runner once again attempts to make peace in saying that I don't want to make peace, but if you agree to put your arms away, I will take you to our leader. That leader actually being Lady of the Forest. Lady of the Forest is incredibly hot for this engine, and she's like, by the way, Zafrians are shit.
Yeah, the Lady of the Forest is one of the... She's basically... a succubus, but
she is not
better.
A succubus.
Well, she's got her boobs out and everything. So yeah,
that doesn't make her a succubus. That just means she's naked.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Rick, your brain is actually infected with goonerism.
Yeah, gooner brain.
Fucking hell, I don't like using that word, but Jesus. Right. Anyway, this conversation is quite interesting because first of all, you get the revelations about Zafrian being a shit. The Lady of the Forest tells you the werewolf's plan is to just get rid of the werewolf, or rather, the curse of lycanthropy, which includes healing Zafrian's people, by the way.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you can actually get the good ending, as in recruiting the elves, one of two ways. You can either brutally murder Zafrian, or you can convince Zafrian to peacefully surrender and release the curse. However, if you want to be truly evil, it's this conversation where you can pass a DC persuasion check and say, hey, how about we say fuck the elves and brutally murder all of them, including Zafrian. And it's like, Lady of the Forest does not like this idea to begin with, but Swift Runner is all fucking in. And if you end up doing this, the ending finale is you raiding the Dalish camp with the werewolves, and when you win, the Lady of the Forest is like, shit, looks like we won't be able to lift the curse at all now because of some bullshit. And it's like, oh damn. Anyway, I still need help with this blight bullshit. You in? And she's like, oh hell yeah. So you actually get werewolves in the final fight.
Yep. So that's what I ended up doing.
Why?
Yeah. So this is one of my first actual role-playing games where I was actually able to choose things, and I thought, yeah, let's do something interesting. And yeah.
And so interesting to you is evil?
Not necessarily evil, but I wanted werewolves.
But it is evil.
Because you kill a bunch of people.
It's a 100% explicitly evil choice. Now, I know how we said at the beginning, the werewolves are pretty much entirely innocent, because, none of them are the ones that actually committed the original crime. If you want to talk about entirely innocent, let's talk about the Dalish elves that aren't Zafrian.
Yeah. And the werewolves stop being innocent when you lead an entire band of them to kill all the Garlish. The Garlish? The Dalish.
But here's the thing, Swift Runner is kind of one of those characters who, it's hard to tell if he's a dick, or if he's always been a dick, or he's been cursed with this curse for so long and in so much pain, he's like, fuck it, I need it to stop. I think it's the Prior, because as soon as he becomes a human, he's like, right, we need to work out how to be human again. All of his bloodlust immediately goes away.
Yeah.
They're not horrible people. They're just in a shitty situation. It's one of the nuances I kind of like with Dragon Age, because a lot of factions, you can rationalize why they're doing what they're doing. Apart from fucking Hal, he's a dick.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he just is a dick.
he's not a nice person. Anyone who defends Hal has got issues. Like, the very last thing he says when you kill him is, "I deserved more." You know? That's not the sign of a nice person.
Little shit. I think the only people that actually defend him are people that just like Tim Curry.
I love Tim Curry. He's great. There's not a bad role he's ever done that I've seen. However, Hal is a cunt.
Yes.
Even if you don't play as a human noble, he is a cunt.
Oh, yes. Yes, he is.
But anyway, I digress. You've got this conversation. Chances are you're like, hey, why don't you bring Zafrian here? And I believe there's a dialogue choice where you can say, if I bring Zafrian here, are you going to brutally murder him? And Swift Runner looks like, he is totally down with killing Zafrian. But Lady of the Forest is just like, I just want to talk to him while pumping a shotgun a la Peter Griffin.
Yeah, but I just want to talk.
But yeah, you literally leave, and as soon as you leave, you find Zafrian just outside the fucking room, and he's like, I remember this so clearly, just goes, and here you are already, like a smug fucking prick. And he's like, I don't see the heart of Witherfang. What's going on? And you explain, Lady of the Forest wants to talk to you, and that's when you get the revelation, in case you hadn't worked it out already. He's just like, you do know that Witherfang and Lady of the Forest are one and the same, right? And it's like, yeah, of course, I'm not a fucking idiot, Zafrian. It's not difficult to convince him to come with you, and I believe when you do convince him, he just goes, I don't see the point in this, but okay. And it doesn't matter how high your persuasion is, you are going to have a boss fight in the next room.
Yeah.
However, I say boss fight with like air quotes, because you do have like half a room of ads on your side.
Yeah, so the golden ending here basically has the Lady of the Forest and Zathrian both die, and the curse ends.
Yeah, it's a really touching scene, because the Lady of the Forest is just like, aren't you tired? Aren't you old? Because I'm fucking tired and old, and you're as old as I am. Can you not let your hate fade? And like Zathrian's practically in tears, like, you don't understand, and it's like,
Yeah, he's like basically at this point in his life, all he is duty and hate.
Don't even think. It's not even duty, though, is it? Because his duty as a keeper is to look after his clan, and his clan is dying because he refuses to let go.
Yeah. So this is the part where he basically chooses life for everyone else, and if I was playing it again now, yeah, I'd very definitely choose this option. But back in the day, nah.
How many times did you beat Dragon Age?
I only completed it once.
Jesus Christ, I beat it like 10 times.
Yeah. My second playthrough, I got like a third of the way through again, and I'm like, okay, cool. I've done the things that are different that I've done differently, and didn't get through to the end because the ending is basically the same.
Well, it depends really, because Awakening exists, and that changes drastically depending on how you end the game.
Sure.
Well, maybe not drastically, but enough for you to be like, yeah, let's do some new thing.
Okay.
Are we doing Awakening for this deep dive, Rick?
Have
you played
Awakening?
Why not?
Actually, yeah, I've only played like half of Awakening. I've not finished it.
Right, no point in doing Awakening then.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I've got all the characters and that's about it.
Bastard.
I've not gotten to the I think I did the mother, but not the architect.
Wow, Rick, I can't believe how much of a fake Dragon Age fan you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, you got that. You can actually side with Zafrian in this final conflict and still end a werewolf curse, except it's a lot less of a happy ending, because you end the curse, but you also pretty much kill all the werewolves. It's not a good ending.
Yeah, I think the implication is you don't kill all of them, you just kill all the ones that are there right then.
Well, you kill all the ones that are there, which is all of them. The other ones are technically cured, because Zafrian does end the curse after that point, except he only ends it for the people that weren't werewolves, the elves, basically. He ends it for the elves that got infected after the attack started in earnest.
Sure. Yeah, so the elves that have been infected and are on their way to being turned. Yeah.
Yeah. Just looping back ever so slightly, when you do first enter the camp, there is literally a makeshift infirmary of a bunch of elves, and it's so funny because it's the Dragon Age Origins engine, so you just got a bunch of elves lying down and they're going, oh, my tum-tum.
Ooh, tummy ache. Ooh, tummy ache.
Because that's all they could. That's all they could do with the ending. It was very funny. But yeah, if you do the good ending, in my opinion, and apparently Rick's as well, he agrees with me. The good ending of both With a Fang / Lady of the Forest and Zafrian give themselves up to put a proper end to the curse. You then have to pick up Zafrian's staff and go back to the Dalish camp and give it to his second and be like, cool, you're in charge now. By the way, honour this fucking contract. I've been here for hours.
Yeah. And she does. But yeah, that's about it for the Brecilian Forest. Anything else you can think of?
This area, me and Rick, or rather Rick and I should say, because we use proper English on this channel, or we try to, we were discussing before the episode started today that Dragon Age Origins is a really weird one, especially with sections like this, and we're going to encounter it again with our next section, which, spoiler, is going to be the dwarves, because I think they're the last people we have to recruit.
Yeah, there's the dwarves, and then pretty much it's going to be Landsmeet and Endgame.
Yeah, we'll split that into two, possibly, but we'll get there. Because apart from Redcliffe and the Endgame, the plot is just go to this place and do the dungeon.
Yeah, a lot of it is you go to this chunk, do the thing, and then you're done.
Yeah.
It just so happens that Redcliffe is 2 chunks, and one of those chunks is like, oh yeah, go do the Mage's Tower so you can do this bit next.
Yeah. So much so that on my second playthrough and onwards, I would always do the Mage's Tower before Redcliffe, because it's like, well, I'm going to come here anyway, so I might as well do it first. And also, Wynn is here, and she's the best healer in the game.
Yeah, Wynn is here, and also, if you can be bothered doing all the Fade bullshit, you get a bunch of stat boosts that you can keep for the rest of the playthrough.
It's one of the best mods that I've seen on the community. Is it's skip the fade, and it's like, oh, why would you want to skip the fade? And then you think back and you go, yeah, actually, if you want all the stat boosts, the fade is a chore.
Yeah, it's just fade skip, just skip to having all of these stat boosts. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. It's a very.
You've done it once.
That's just it. It's really fun and interesting the first time. If you play this game, it's something someone pointed out to me as well. It's like every single RPG in this vein has that section. For Rogue Trader, it's Chapter 4.
Yeah.
Which, if you ever get there, Rick, you'll know why. I'm trying to think what it is for Baldur's Gate. Really, there's nothing in Baldur's Gate where I'm like, I don't really want to do this again. The Trials of Shara are a bit repetitive, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's so short.
Yeah, and not all of them are crap.
Oh, they are.
Okay, the one that really is crap is the leap.
They're all crap, Rick. Which one isn't crap?
I'd say that the one where you're fighting against your own guys is kind of interesting.
It's crap.
Yeah. The silence one is fine. It's just a fight.
That's not a trial. That's just what you need to do for Shadowheart to not leave.
Oh yeah, to get the spear. Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those, Rick, where tell me which one isn't boring on the second go.
Yogi.
That's not a trial.
But you still need to do it to get a pip.
I will begrudge you a point. And it's still a trial. It's still a trial. It's still a chore.
Yeah, well, your choices are, do you fight Yogi or do you conversation him?
You have to have a really high fucking charisma to do that.
Yeah. Or you do the Sharon guy instead.
I've never done it.
Have you not?
No.
Okay.
It's interesting you didn't bring this up during the podcast that we had on this section.
Yeah, because it's only since then that I've actually done the Sharon guy himself.
So how is it that unbelievable that I've not done it?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. The Balthazar fight can go eat dicks.
Oh yeah, I've only ever done it in the room where he spawns.
Yeah, congratulations, Rick. The first time I did it in the fucking Dame Aelin arena, and it's really fucking hard because he just knocks you off the fucking edge.
Yep. And his loot is so shit that you might as well do the same to him.
Well, again, first time playing it, didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, bear in mind,
bosses tend to have things.
That arena, very small. He has Cloud Kill.
Yeah, he has Cloud Kill. And if you don't have a Warlock, you're probably not going to have knockback either.
Yeah, he's got Cloud Kill. The knockback he gets some additional mobs in that area that are different from the mobs in the area he spawns in, which come in the form of, I think, 3 giant fuck-off skeletons that only exist to push.
Yep.
Sucks.
And he's got his flesh, hasn't he? So he
doesn't bring that into Aelin.
Does he not? Okay.
Nah.
Plus, you've also got the chance of having flesh for yourself.
Again, probably not going to have done that if you. Here's the thing: I didn't see Balthazar. I chatted to Balthazar, and he was like, "I'm here to help you," and I believed him.
Yeah.
because I was infiltrating. It's like, okay, he thinks we're on the same side, so let's use him. But it turns out, no, it just makes his fight harder.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, every one of these tabletop RPG games, they all have a section where you're like, on a replay, you're like, this fucking bit.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of this fucking bit parts. In Gauntlet of Shar, I just end up using knock these days.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Yeah, you just get one any of the pips, use that to get down and knock and get in.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't need to do. You only need to do one trial if you do it that way. So
I mean, sure.
Pick your favorite and go.
It's a tough fucking decision when they're all shit, Rick.
Yeah. I pick Yurgir because getting his hand crossbow is good for a hand crossbow person.
I don't really like the hand crossbow gimmick. I really don't. Like, you told me about the, hey, have a story and be a fit. Can we not talk about this? We're wrapping up Dragon Age. Let's go.
Yeah, let's wrap up Dragon Age. So, from the Brecilian Forest, get down to our finale. Do you have a favourite moment?
Oh, fuck. Guess the initial conversation with Swiftwater is up there because it's the first time you play it, you don't really expect to just straight up have a conversation 2 seconds in with the enemy.
Yeah. It's weird that he comes and seeks you out so soon. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you've got a high persuasion, which, let's be honest, you're gonna. If you've ever played any game ever, you're like, cool, I can skip encounters if I have a good charisma. Cool, I'm gonna have my main character invest in this. If you have a high persuasion, you can just be like, I don't really want to fight you, and Swiftwater just goes, I don't want to fight you either, but I must protect my clan.
Yeah. It's a rather nice little set of interactions and like a nice dynamic that you get. Like he realizes that you're not, immediately allied with just the Dalish just because they are not werewolves.
Now, it's one of those where, again, he's had to fight every single day of his life as a werewolf because no one trusts werewolves. It does feel like the more you think about it, the more it becomes clear that the aggressiveness that Swiftwater exudes is literally just like, I need this mechanism to live.
Yeah. I would struggle to side against the werewolves in this situation if I were in that life. However, as a person, it would also be difficult for me to basically pick anything other than the golden ending.
Yeah, except you did.
Yeah, but this is because I wasn't living in that world, and I could just go, oh yeah, sweet werewolves.
It's okay, Rick. You're an arsehole. What's your favourite moment?
I think it's just the actual final confrontation with the Lady of the Forest, where you're able to, be persuaded by her to let things go the way that they should be about to go. And yeah, Master Zathrian is ready to just like you say, like it's just that really emotional set of moments when he's finally able to let go, and it's just one of the more unambiguously positive resolutions in all of Dragon Age Origins.
I mean, I'm just struggling to think of any moment in any of the follow-up games which comes close to this of the resolution of... Okay, so Dragon Age Origins is very weird in the way it sets its story out, because it's not point A to point B, it's like you start at the centre of the wheel. Which spoke are you going down first, Yeah,
it's a hand. The palm is there, and you go down the fingers, yeah.
I love how I'm like, here's my analogy of a wheel, and Rick's like, no, it's a hand now. Even though it's the exact same fucking analogy.
Yeah, circle thing with sticks.
Anyway, I can't think of any, branch in a story in Dragon Age that ends in such an emotional swell. Can you?
Yeah. I don't think so. What can we think of? I think the closest emotional thing that I can think of really is Emmerich's resolution, because that's a real gut punch one way or the other.
Emmerich in Veilguard?
Yeah. But even then, that's fair enough. I mean, it's also a lot more condensed on one person compared to an entire clan, clans even.
But there's no real emotion to it, Rick.
Yeah.
Because the resolution is you can either pick one end, which is like, yay, I get this spirit back, or you've got the other end, which is I've now become a lich, which was it's a fucking video game, and the unfortunate reality is when you're playing a video game and a narrative, it's like, this is a main character, he's a main member of your party potentially, you're not going to lose him.
Yeah, you're not going to lose the character. He's going to stay in the party. He's not going to change enough that he's not going to help you.
But also, they make it very clear that liches in Dragon Age universe don't lose their emotions.
Yeah.
They just get to live forever. They get all the pros of being a lich without any of the cons.
Yeah. Like, the only thing that the other liches that who are about to induct him into the League of Liches have done is basically said, yeah, you're going to have to let go of human attachments, so because we had to, so get fucked.
Well, also, okay, so one of the few things where, like, yeah, it makes sense, though, because they need to preside over death, and if they're presiding over death, they can't have favourites.
Yeah, I get you.
Like,
yeah, and they even say it in almost those exact words as well, don't they?
It's been a hot minute. I couldn't tell you, but the gist of it is literally, if you're attached to people, you won't want them to die, which means you can't be a lich because you will play favourites even if you don't know you're doing it. You know, it's one of those. It's why the reject lich ending is, I'm going to bring this spirit back from the dead.
Yeah. But yes, that's our MVPs. No, sorry, not our MVPs. Our favourite moments. Do you have a weakest link?
I mean, it's unique in the sense that it's a forest, but boy, is there fuck all going on in this zone.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big old... The dungeon part's okay, but the before going into the dungeon, which is just a big sprawling forest, and it's not even that big, really. It's big for the time. It's big for the time. I'll give it that. Like, video games have moved on so much since then. You know, it's fine. There's not much variance in the enemies, which is also fine. It's a bit of a letdown, because you sandwich this between Redcliffe and Orzammar, which is how we've done it for the podcast, and it's like, cool, here's Redcliffe with all of this plot, and then here's Orzammar with, oh my god, it's so massive, and there's so many things I have to kill.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly it. It's just Kokari Wilds with more trees.
Kokari Wilds?
Yeah, the opening segment where you get Morrigan and you've got Davith and Jory.
I don't even think it's got more trees. Like, the zones feel comparable in size.
Yeah, but it's basically just that, but like with a forest skin. It's just like a mostly open naturey zone.
Okay, but like, you can't just say that with a forest skin, because the Kokari Wilds has a forest skin.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, go on. What's your weakest link, Rick?
Yeah, exactly that. It just feels like the Kokari Wilds again. It doesn't feel super different to that, other than that the some of the enemies are different. Like, they could have made it like a Twilight Forest or something, like a Forest of Eternal Night, or just like the kind of Fey bullshit that you might expect from fantasy games these days, but no, it's just a...
Okay, I kind of get what you're saying, but there's two issues with what you're saying. One, this is not high fantasy. Yes, it's got dragons and magic, but it's not like the world itself is magic. You know, you can't just be like, it's always in eternal darkness, it's always this time of day, etc., etc. And two, if you make it too magical, it takes away from the very real plot of effectively a man unable to give up on his vengeance.
Sure, yeah, okay, fair enough. Like I get it, but it does just feel like a regular place, you know?
I don't think feeling like a regular place is a valid criticism, because this world is a normal world.
Yeah, true, fair enough. But yeah, we can't. That's our weakest links. Do you have an MVP?
I mean, I'll give it to the Lady of the Forest, because, you know, she is the more palatable of the two quest givers, as it were, or the two sides, shall I say. But it's difficult to pick an MVP for this one, because there's one thing that happens in this zone.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with you on that one. Also giving it to the Lady of the Forest, not giving it to Master Zathrian. Fuck him.
You keep calling him Master. Keeper.
Yeah, Keeper Zathrian. Yeah. Keeper Zathrian. Yeah, fuck him. And Swiftfang.
Swiftrunner.
He's Swiftrunner. He's cool, but he's not MVP material.
I mean, weirdly enough, he is probably the person you speak to most in this chapter if you've got the persuasion for it.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Not maybe so. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. So Lady of the Forest from me. Lady of the Forest / Witherfang from me.
Well, no, you can't say /y Witherfang, because the Witherfang elements are so minimal unless you decide to kill Witherfang, in which case you're not getting Lady of the Forest.
No. But yes, that's it for us today and the Brecilian Forest segment. If you like the video, there's a comment section down below on YouTube. Tell us what you thought about the Brecilian Forest, this part of Dragon Age. If you're playing through, tell us like some little idiosyncrasies, what choices you made. If you don't have the comment section, you can instead send us an email, which would go to
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
And it's going to be a goodbye from me.
We'll see you next week, guys.